Fellow citizens, I am here this evening to address you on behalf of the City of Elgin, Illinois Zombie Defense Initiative, a collective of concerned citizens and experienced professionals who have come together in a hands-on effort to directly address an ongoing problem that other communities choose to ignore: the threat of zombie attack. The ZDI has identified a disturbing trend, a pattern of growing activity throughout the year that peaks in October. Here on this chart, you can see our forecast for the coming months with heavy activity throughout the region. Our experts predict this activity will extend beyond the boundaries of Chicago, even as far as Minnesota. The only safe place to be is Elgin, Illinois. Our experienced ZDI team is ready to welcome you to the safe zone, carefully screening out all those pesky undead who would try to pose as the living. In the safe zone, we have assembled supplies and equipment you will need to survive the looming apocalypse, as well as having food and drink on hand and entertainment to take your mind off the stress of the mayhem. Citizens, for your own safety and welfare, heed the alarm. Join us in Elgin in October this year on the 24th. Don't end up a zombie Happy Meal. Meet your fellow survivors in the safe zone and save your brains. And scene. Hello again, my name is Elizabeth Haney and I work for Acme Design. In 2011, my boss Clint Barucki and I were part of a team that joined forces to help the city of Elgin launch its first major Halloween event. My intro was a small dose of what we do in Elgin every year to create an event that is an experience, so welcome to our nightmare. Where did this start? With pumpkins and ghosts. This is downtown Elgin, settled in the 1830s on the Fox River. This is Acme Design, where I work. And this is Barb Kaselica, the City of Elgin Special Events Coordinator. We all met when Barb's boss asked Acme to join this Halloween event, Elgin's Halloween Hall, A Nightmare on Chicago Street. During one of our meetings, Barb asked if we could help devise a way to decorate the downtown for trick-or-treating, so we made the pumpkins and ghosts. That's us doing that. So where did you get this nightmare name? Because it didn't seem very nightmarish to me. And Barb told us that in 2010, they had filmed some of the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street in Elgin, including this scene at the historic cemetery where Barb was an extra. And then Clint asked a very important question: what is your dream? And Barb said this is not us, this is the Transformers. It was something like a movie set where people would be completely immersed in the environment. Well, not yet, Barb. So in 2010, we met with some members of Public Works to put these covers on, and we made some very valuable friends. And we had trick-or-treating in the Main Street, pumpkin painting. None of this sounds like a nightmare. So how could we get from this to this? Research. We knew intensive research would be key, so we needed the best sources, and we went to the experts. Clint and I sat Barb down to watch Zombieland. We thought this is what we could do. And fortunately, at the same time, zombies were gaining mainstream appeal thanks to a new show, The Walking Dead. Armed with our ideas, we went to City Hall to meet with the higher-ups and pitch our proposal: trash 2 blocks of the downtown historic business district that you spent almost 10 years and millions of dollars rehabbing. Easy peasy. A bit of talking, a bit of convincing, and we were greenlit to proceed. It was now late August. We started looking closely at the downtown, strategizing how we would attack the project, and took reference pictures. Barb gave Clint and I carte blanche to form a committee and art direct the event. So we sent out an invitation that we hoped was very enticing and would excite people, because we wanted them to be excited and get motivated very quickly. We resulted in an amazing team. We met at Acme, which we felt was a creative environment, and it took people out of City Hall. It wasn't like meeting in a meeting room when you met in the diner. And we gave people titles like director, sets, lighting, producer. That, again, reinforced the notion of being in a movie set. We had a vision that was very clear for this event. We had to communicate it quickly and get things done. One was that we wanted to prove it could be done, to demonstrate that a horror-themed Halloween event could be a force for good. We wanted to reinforce the important role that special events have in the community, and they're an investment that promotes economic well-being. And our mantra, feet on the street. Now it was 6 weeks to the event, time to nut up or shut up. This is one of my favorite quotes, and I bet you TAD people can relate. In preparing for battle, I've always found that plans are useless, but planning is indispensable, and that was General Eisenhower who said that. So we became professional streetwalkers, and we divided the downtown into 4 districts, and we met with all of the businesses trying to communicate to them the vision and tell them how very carefully we would handle their property for this event. We filled out forms, took contact information, after-hour contact information. The YWCA signed on, which was a big win for us. And we made a video for YouTube at Acme that sort of got the ball rolling for other videos to be done. This is Fred showing some of our board ups and poster options so that we could communicate this to businesses. Without any nails being driven in, this would expand, and we reused these, and most of the materials were reclaimed lumber. So this is our marketing campaign. We had a logo that was based on the old civil defense logo, which probably a lot of you are too old to even know what that means, but hopefully you know. And these were our Save the Date, Save the City. It's a no-brainer. It all ends here. This is the mayor filming a press conference, which remains one of our highest viewed YouTube videos, where he did a press conference as if the zombie attack had happened, and years later as if he was under the bunker at City Hall. He's a very good sport. We went shopping at Public Works. And this is in one of the buildings that is today a new law office. So it really has had a positive economic. And we went shopping for cars to make Barb's dream come true, put up banners to get some buzz going ahead of time, made a newspaper to hand out at the event. This is now some of the photos of us setting up, which is pretty extensive. And I'm gonna, obviously you can see that it was a lot of work, and we did this in one day in a couple hours because we had to wait for the bank to close before we could start putting out some of these decorations. Because the bank had to be open. They don't do that to us anymore. So. And you can see the businesses were really good sports and bought into it. This was a pediatrician's office that allowed us to make little tiny children. The gates open. We wanted it to be like a threshold where when you crossed in, you were immediately immersed in the event. And we had the pleasure of having a little boy, I got to overhear him when he walked through the gates, say, "Wow, it's Zombieland." So we knew, win. We had a costume contest. Svengoolie, who's a horror host in Chicago and comes with an already made audience, and he is now on Coast to Coast. I don't know if you've seen him. Check him out if you haven't. He's awesome. And Victoria Price, who is Vincent Price's daughter and happened to be in the Chicago area, came out. And that's the crowd. You can see how extensive it was. Flash dancing, confetti cannon. So Barb's life was definitely changed by this. This is Barb at a horror convention, something I'm sure she never thought she would ever do in her life. But she's like, "Take my picture, take my picture." And even the giraffe, I don't know if you noticed the giraffe, he had fun. I have a couple pictures here from last year's event now that I would like someone to scroll through me quickly while I just make a few other points. If you could just hit them every few seconds. This is a quote that's attributed to Margaret Mead. You can go ahead then and just keep scrolling. When I was little, they used to say, "Mind your P's and Q's," so I wanted to give you a couple P's to kind of wrap this up. One is people. Gather good people around you. It's okay to collect comic books or cute shoes or whatever it is that folks are collecting these days, but definitely collect people and connections. I love that. So collect good people around you because they make life a pleasure, and they are truly your greatest pleasure and treasure and what will lift you up in life. And then I would say passion is really important to the success of this event, just like passion was really important to the success of this event here. Persevere. When you think it can't be done, and I think this speaks to what you were saying earlier, keep pushing and ask, well, how can we do this? How can we overcome this? The high school gave us their discarded band uniforms, and we staged a fake bus accident last year with actual members of the marching band, and they let us blood splatter the costumes in their, or the uniforms in their ours now. And then I think the final thing would be to dwell in possibility, which was my lesson that came out of working in this event. I tend to be a more risk-oriented person, and Clint is not, and that has been what has been great for me working at Acme. When Clint said to me, we're going to flip cars on Chicago Street, I said, yeah, they're not going to let you do that. Well, they did. We sat around a table with a police officer and later with a fire department official who were very helpful to tell us exactly where we could flip the cars. And boy, I think you can squeeze a few more in here. And the fire department was like, yeah, let's just get the glass out of them and make sure they're emptied of all the fluids. So what I thought could never happen actually happened. And it was really amazing. And it remains one of the things that is probably one of my happiest experiences in my life. So, October 24th, save the date, save the city. See you in Elgin, Illinois.